Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, your stupendous agent of stop motion animated awesomeness. Today, we're going to be taking a brief and quick look at 20 Million Miles to Earth. Sven Gulli aired this yesterday on his program, his nationally syndicated program on MeTV, and I had some thoughts. Naturally, I mean, what more did you expect? Everyone is in, everyone is entitled to my opinion, to quote the great Damon Foster. Movie was released in 1950. Looks like June of 1957. Runs 83 minutes. Directed by Nathan Duran, who we talked about under his pseudonym of Nathan Hertz for The Brain from Planet Eris. Story by Charlotte Knight and Ray Harryhausen. She was an acting coach of his. Produced by Charles H. Schneer and starring, I forgot to get my Raymond Burr sting, William Hopper. The soon-to-be known as Paul Drake, Joan Taylor, Frank Puglia, and Little Dink Bart Braverman. We'll talk about him. He's Pepe, and he was best known for playing Binzer on Vegas for 3 or 4 years. I don't know. Never watched it. He didn't have a lot of roles. Oh, he's an alligator too, or alligator as well. A lot of television though. He's on MASH, Private Habib. You can tell why he was cast. Anyway, he's Pepe, and we're going to be talking about him momentarily. But the movie starts out with opening narration and a beautiful montage. There's our sister planet Venus in the foreground and Earth in the background, and then you get the rather pedestrian 20 million miles to Earth. It's nicely animated when it comes in, but overall it's kind of meh. So, and there's our stars. I think that guy had quite a career. We'll be talking about him a little bit. Just his sheer artistry, a scant 10 years into his career, really. 49, Mighty Joe Young. Yeah, I'd say about 10 years. There's his longtime partner and producer, and there's Nathan. And it's set in the fictional village of Gera, Italy, which was corrected or changed in the colorized version they released in 2008. We'll talk about that sort of, but only peripherally. There's Pepe, his father, and his father's partner. Just says, doesn't give him a name really. And there's the XY7. I always call him. There's a rocket ship X7 movie, which we probably should review. But there it is, coming down pell mell. It skims the water and then must have hit the ground, right? I mean, I guess it could have got the nose underwater and flipped over. Anyone who's ever been water skiing is well acquainted with this particular phenomenon. Most of the boats go away. There's a nice matte shot, but Pepe and his father and his buddy go to rescue. There's our first look at Paul, the soon-to-be Paul Drake. Bob is his name. Bob Calder. I always thought he was a colonel or something, but maybe he's just a major. I don't know. This splash here is Pepe's father jumping out of the ship as it sinks. There is, I don't know. It's Thomas Brown Henry as the Major General A.D. McIntosh. And I think that's his buddy who is Dr. Judson. I tell you. And they're in Sicily. So they're not far from Rome, but in Sicily, where the pizza is cut square. They're fixing Paul up to take him to the doctor who's delivering twins. Then little thief Pepe finds something that doesn't belong to him. It's probably United States Air Force property. Steals it while he opens it up. Steals what's inside. And there's one of the townsmen going to the doctor. That would be Dr. Leonardo, Ralph Puglia, who doesn't know how to do anything he's a zoologist, so he can't really help people. But his granddaughter there, Marissa, or Marissa as they call her, is a soon to be doctor, or almost a doctor, as is said about 4 times in the movie. So she goes to help. And there's the hospital with linens hanging outside. That that just makes me laugh. But they did take a crew over to Italy to film the shots, and William Hopper was the only one that went over there. Everything else that you see is shot back in the States, and with any other actors. I mean, unless they're dubbed ADR'd in there, but most of them. And there is the soon-to-be dead Charmin with some kind of stuff all over his face. He's alive right now. You see his eyes are open, but he croaks real fast. Pepe has sold the contents of the stolen contents to the doctor for 200 lira so he can buy himself. The little dumbass wants he's obsessed with Texas. Let's see here. I meant to put this right in there at the beginning.
Many people always catch a little fish. Now in Texas, that's where one little rope, she catches a bigger cow.
The net.
Yeah, he's obsessed with Texas. He reminds me of somebody, but right off the top of my head, I don't know if he's obsessed with it, but he did spend quite a few years growing up talking about how much better Texas was than any other country in the Union, and once told me with a straight face that everybody wanted to be from Texas, they just didn't know it.
Kind of man, a just man, a man of much learning, a man of great wealth.
Man of wealth, a professor of... of course, Pepe.
He's quite the salesman, though, really, if you think about it. So good on you, Pepe, but pick a better subject.
And the man, he is dead.
Those American movies. Yeah, it's so great and neat, Pepe. You deserve the 200 lira. Chen?
There we go. But this is here's our first shot of the Emir when Marissa turns on the light. And look at it, scared and little and kind of cute in an ugly sort of way. And they immediately put it into a cage, which is probably would have been for its best, but unfortunately, it doubles its size like every 6 hours, and that's not good. So he wants to take it, I think, to the zoological garden in Rome to study it, which is wise because it'd still be safer there. Unfortunately, they get on to there's Pepe trying to do his best Billy Idol, or was Billy Idol doing his best Pepe? The world may never know. I just thought it was a very funny look on him.
How much is that? Sufficient to purchase for me a cowboy horse like they ride in Texas?
Enough to buy many horses. Now, what do you know about the big container?
You promised to me about the hat, about the horses.
You have my promise, son.
So they corral Pepe. He tells them where to find the stolen container, but it's empty. And here the monster is big enough. Now that is an actual hand. That's not a stop motion hand. It's just a puppet hand, or a hand, you know what I mean, prosthetic for an actor to grab Marissa with. And then they open it up. And I've had to lighten these shots up because the day for night photography is good enough when you're watching it, but on these screen grabs, it's just not where it could be. But here's just the monster gets loose. And then, of course, Bob Calder in his military outfit shows up. And then he runs into, she's treated him at the hospital. And that's where nearly a doctor shows up. And see, the monsters, he tells them the creatures are gentle unless aroused or provoked. Well, it doesn't harm the lambs. So it's just hungry and it's probably really scared. It eats sulfur. Poor dog. I'm just assuming the dog just got knocked unconscious. There's a nice fight in the shadows, which is really well done. I like that a lot. And it's bigger, of course. It's man-sized now. And they're all like, what do we do? I'm going to try to poke it into that box. That did not work. And then dumbass farmer stabs it with his pitchfork and gets taken down pretty brutally. I mean, the Emir, as it's known, lays the smackdown on this guy, tears into his throat. They don't know if he's dead. So there's the Emir. He's called the Emir because the movie was based on Harryhausen's story, The Giant Emir, which was not a science fiction movie. It was based on the frost giant Emir, the first being, according to Norse religions or mythologies, depending on your point of view, Ymir was the first being created out of the snow, first living being. He was eventually slain by Odin and his two brothers and provided the firmament, everything for the earth to form. Is it any sillier than any other creation story? I don't think so. This is Marvel's version of Ymir as drawn by Jack Kirby. That's how I was introduced to the character, of course. And I just want to throw that in there. So it's never called the Ymir in the movie at all. It's just a Venusian creature, inhabitant, really, that they kidnapped from its home planet and took to the Earth. So now they've made up, got the obligatory love story going, and the doctor wants to take it to the zoological garden. The commissario, there's that word again, says, no, we're going to kill it because it's endangering my people. So more great match shots. It's just really a well-shot movie. Nathan Duran was a really great director, very underrated. And these are the effects that Ray Harryhausen did. He had to matte in fire to not burn. And, really nice. You don't even see matte lines. So, he set it up really well. His Dynamation didn't have that name just yet, but he was working on it. I just like this shot. So he's eating sulfur. They're dropping a net on him, which I'm quite sure that Subaraya saw, just because it looks exactly, almost eerily similar to the nets from Godzilla versus the Thing. And let's make sure we skip up here. I'm rapidly running out of time here to finish this, which wouldn't be the worst thing. They zap him, captured, and all these, you can always tell the matte paintings or the process shots because something's out of focus. Press conference, and they rush to find out what's going on or tell the world, which I'm sure was a big deal. Yeah, the zoological garden. That's where they're studying him. There's Ray Harryhausen right there. That might be his wife. I don't know, but that's Ray filming. This is another process shot. And now the creature is unconscious because, what is taking a monster? This is very similar to King Kong. It's as close to a King Kong as Harryhausen ever really did. I know Guanji came from Willis O'Brien as well, but this is so now they're, romance is in the air. The music is by Mishka Bakalennikov, who did several of Ray's early movies. It's adequate. There's nothing spectacular about it, but nothing horrible. The monster wakes up, of course. Everyone runs, and it bursts through. Ray has to animate this. Oh, I forgot this scene here. Where is that? Right here, where they move this under the claw. That's really well done. I never noticed that before till last night. All right, fighting the elephant. Kills the elephant, kills it dead. It's still breathing, though, before it dies. And, so you can tell that he's in Italy. Dua! It's in the Tiber River there, breaking through. Once more, Ray has to animate all of this. And now he's running around through the Colosseum where they're shooting and just damaging, 2,000, 3,000-year-old artifacts. And the monster's all right. This is one of those shots you can tell that it was not in the same spot. Those really look like cuts of salami, don't they? I like this picture too. They're using a bazooka in the Colosseum. How much destruction did they cause here? Oops. Oh, well. I was trying to get a little more sound in here. There he goes. That guy's crushed to death. Oh, you got me. Anyway, that's right at the end of the movie. They shoot it down. King Kong falls. The Ymir falls. The crowd gathers around to look. He breathes his last. And that's the end. So, my fellow agents, I know this was in a bit of a rush, but thank you very much for listening. I hope you've quite enjoyed it. It's a very enjoyable movie overall, but very sad. It's hard to watch. It's not his best, but I'd say all of his black and whites are all pretty entertaining. If it weren't for the Beast, this might be his best. So until our next assignment, this is X7 signing off.
XY-21, which crashed into the Mediterranean Sea on the 11th, was a single-stage, astral-propelled rocket launched 13 months ago from a site within the United States. The rocket, with its complement of 17 men, had landed on the planet Venus.
Venus?
The planet Venus? Some of you may also have heard the story of a monster now confined here in Rome Zoo. That beast is from Venus. Now for those electric cables. Misericordia!